Hello, Alice. It's so nice to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fabulous, and thank you for having me.
Beautiful. And thank you so very much for being here. You see, I truly appreciate you. And you see, Alice, oftentimes I love to thank my guest for two things. And I do this so often to the point where it has become my anthem. So, firstly, Alice, I want to say thank you so very much for investing in yourself. You see, you are on this platform right now because you did invest that in yourself. And oftentimes, Alice, I love to make reference to the amazing mango tree. You say some couple of months back, I was on a particular road, and just by the roadside, Alice, there was this very tall, unattractive mango tree. And I used the word unattractive because the mango tree's got no mangoes on it, and the leaves were all dry. So I just walked past it and I went my way. But you see, Alice, just recently I was on that same road. And this time around, a lot's changed about the mango tree, you see. The mango tree caught my attention pretty good from a distance. And immediately I got the urge to move so close to it, of which I did. And it wowed me. Because now the mango tree's got a lot of mangoes on it. Beautiful green leaves and earthy branches, and not just mangoes now, Alice. I'm talking about ripe mangoes. It was such a lovely experience that day. I was so excited. Here is my point. The fact that you dedicated your time, energy, and resources to becoming the amazing and incredible Alice that you are today, that alone has made it impossible for me to skip you. And that's why you got the request from me to be on the show because I was attracted to the fruit of all that you're doing, your philosophies, your insight, the impact your work is having, and how you're offering your solutions, Alice. This stuff's so beautiful. And just before I sent you that request, I said to myself, I've got to benefit from these beautiful things Alice is doing. And not only me now, because I don't want to be selfish, and even with the audience. And thank you so very much for being here. Thank you so very much for doing that to yourself. And secondly, thank you for saying yes to the invite. Because if you had said nope, there was nothing Elisha could do about it. Thanks so much, Alice.
I love that story because you know
Yeah,
what? Like,
yeah.
it also shows that we go through ups and downs in our lives. And sometimes we don't have fruit and our leaves
Mm,
get dry. Like, we can come back again, right? It's
right.
never a permanent, like, we can always be better.
Exactly. It's never a permanent condition. I got that. So let's get started, Alice. You see, I am quite excited to have you on the show today for some reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking. I believe in order for one to transition from a terrible situation to that of beautiful one, Alice, I believe it takes the application of knowledge, quality information, and not just knowledge now, but the application of it. And you see, Alice, ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge seeking. Why? Because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very important to me and even to the listeners. And the second reason why I'm excited to have the incredible Alice on the show is for the sake of the audience. You see, we live in an age where information is as abundant as grains of sand. We've got lots of information flying out there. So these folks trust me for quality, eye-opening, and very important information, of which I am totally convinced, Alice, that our conversation is going to be insightful and impactful. So for that reason, Alice, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or your professional journey, because right now we are so curious. We want to know how Alice got here. Then afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Alice, over to you.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, professional and personal really blended for me. And I absolutely love it. In 2002, I had a new baby, and I also had a pretty good job with the Canadian government, pension and all that stuff. But I was like, I don't want to go to work. I want to be home with my little one. How can I do this? So I looked on the internet, and this is, obviously the internet had been around for quite a few years, but it was still pretty new. And so was, making business online was pretty new. And that's just kind of where, companies were starting to get their websites and stuff like that. And I was just asking around to people, like, can I build a full-time income online? I want to work at home. I don't want to work, like, as if you have mothers in your audience, they'll know, and especially in North America and also other places, that direct sales companies are popular for mothers who want to work at home, like Tupperware or things like that. Like there's Usborne Books. There's lots of different products you can sell through direct sales. But that doesn't mean you work at home. You have to go outside the home. You're going to do Tupperware. Are you familiar with Tupperware? It's like plastic, like it's containers, but it's just something that it's multi-level marketing, basically.
Wow.
And you're selling a product. So all these home businesses had mothers going out in the world to sell their products. But it's like, that's not working at home. So I was trying to figure out, how do I do this online? I had no business experience. I love writing. And I discovered, like, people were telling me you can't have an full-time online income, but I'm like, oh, yes, I can. I'm going to figure it out. So I just took the power of my writing and ability to write and communicate and learn how to build search engine traffic, build traffic, make digital products and stuff like that. So that's really what I've been doing for the last 22 years. And now, like, I'm at home. I am at home all the time.
Beautiful.
I'm at home. I do not have to go to a job, and it's a beautiful blending. And I ended up having 3 children, and I was able to be home with them. So that is the journey. Yeah.
Amazing.
And it's been a very blessing, big blessing.
What a beautiful one. And I love that part where you said, yes, I can do it. And that's very inspiring.
Yeah, you tell me I can't.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love that. And you see, that's very motivating, because there might be some folks listening right now who someone had talked down some things that they wanted to do. But when they heard the part where you said, yes, I can do it, it might inspire them. Alice said she can, and she did. That means I can too. You see? Thank you so very much for sharing that. Okay, so we've got some questions here. Are you ready for me?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's talk about entrepreneurs, all right? So what do most entrepreneurs get wrong about content marketing?
Well, they don't. I think, actually, if you want content to grow a business, to sell your products, it is not a separate function from your developing of products or the products you sell. It goes together, right? Content marketing is about obviously building a relationship with your customers, but also creating awareness for your products, helping them be prepared to purchase them. So maybe if there's lots of different types of products, but from my perspective, it's all digital stuff. It's information and stuff like that. So I prepare them, I get them ready so that they are ready to use and learn from my products. And so if you're planning your content, it always has to be done in conjunction with the products you plan to sell and launch and things. And you have to become that kind of natural salesperson. You just think of it like you're speaking with a friend, right? Then if your friend, you are giving them advice, which is your content, but you had a product or you knew of a product that they could buy, and maybe it's not from you, it's like that they could buy and it would solve their problem, you darn well would tell your friend that, right? So in the context of publishing content online, you should always be sharing your products too. You're not shoving it down their throat. You're still being helpful. You're giving them useful advice, but you're also making sure that they know if you need this, like, it's available. A lot of people kind of keep it all separate and they're shy about promoting their products. They're like, oh, I don't want people to feel like I'm selling too hard. And it's not. It's just if you would do it to a friend, you would tell your friend if you knew something would help them, you would tell them. So tell your audience what would help them too.
Beautiful, beautiful. And that was well explained. Okay, so what about this one? There might be some listeners right now who they've got this massive ideas, you see, but they're having trouble, turning these ideas into a product that people wants to buy. So let's say someone asks you,
Right.
"Hey Alice, how can I turn this particular idea into a product that people want to buy?" What would your response be?
Right. And I think you said something like big, awesome idea. I
Yeah,
might be saying that
yeah,
wrong.
that's right.
Sometimes people's ideas are too big to start, right? You're maybe not your first product does not have to be your life's work. It doesn't have to teach everything. The easiest way to build an audience and connect with people is solve a very specific problem. Keep your product simple. Maybe it's going to be a lower cost product and you're not going to get super rich off that one, but you're going to learn so much. You're going to connect with the audience. And as you build all these little products, they can be combined into something bigger over time. But don't overwhelm yourself with trying to do too much because you'll stay in the product development phase for way too long. Instead, make something simple, small, like I think tools are the important thing. People, there's lots of books out there and people love buying books. But they also just want tools, whether it's, checklists, worksheets, some kind of thing that they can print out that they can solve this problem. Workbooks are great, sellers and stuff like that too. It doesn't just have to teach them how to do something. You want them to be able to take action from what you do. So creating like a series of small little tools can also turn into a bigger product over time. You don't have to sell it all together to start with.
Like a checklist. I got that. Wow. How come I never thought about that? Beautiful, beautiful. I get that. Okay. So let's talk about writing. All right. So what is the secret to writing persuasive, emotional content?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of study you can put into that. Like, I think the basic thing that you should do is to learn about copywriting, as they call it, right? So that you understand the different things about persuasive writing, like headlines and like formatting your content and stuff like that. But then it comes from practice. And it comes from building your confidence when you practice, like what I was talking about, how like if you're sharing content, you should also be talking about your products, right? You have to get used to that. You have to get over that uncomfortableness of maybe doing that feeling. And maybe at first it won't seem natural, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So really it's, learn the basics and then practice and understand, like you have to also from practice, you will learn what your audience really wants and what they respond to. And I think a lot of people they sit in the phase of trying to figure that out. But I'm like, if you're not talking to your audience and you're not putting stuff out there, you don't know what they're going to respond to. You have to practice and then you will learn through that process.
You have to practice and you learn the basics. I got that. I got that. So saying how consistent you are with content creation, what habits keeps you this consistent? Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah. I think that a lot of people think consistency means doing the same things every day. Like, okay, I got to post to Instagram. I got to make this for Facebook and etc. I think it's way more important to be intentional about what you want to accomplish. Like, are you trying to, get people interested in an upcoming product launch? Are you and also reaching them places where they are responding to you? Like, I think a lot of people get stuck in this thing like that they need to be on Facebook, they got to be on YouTube, they got to be everywhere, and they're publishing everywhere and nobody sees it. Right? So that's just wasting your time. Find the place where people are listening to you and deliver that message and keep it like, it doesn't mean that you have to do the same thing every day, but you have to keep moving and continuing to release stuff. But don't just release stuff because you think you have to. It's like there should be a reason for it. Always have a reason. And like, it's better to maybe not do things like you're working every day because you're creating and you're planning and all that, but you're not necessarily publishing every day. I mean, I publish every day, but to start with, you're also making sure that what you're putting out there is useful and it's meaningful. If you're just putting stuff out there for the sake of it, you're going to probably put a lot of not so useful stuff out there, and you're wasting your time and you're wasting your audience's
Hmm.
time.
Wow. You see, when I was reading about you, I kept on saying, wow, what a professional, what an expert Alice is, really. Awesome. You see, now that I'm listening to you speak, you just proved me right. Now I see why you're so good at what you do. This is amazing. Thank you so very much. So we have two more questions to go, okay? So let's talk about mindset, all right? So what role does mindset play in marketing success?
It's like, because, I have, having done this for 22 years, and as I did it, I also brought other people on my journey, because everyone was saying, you can't have a full-time online income. So I was like, come on along, watch this journey. Let's do this together. And what I've noticed, especially the last few years, is I don't know if it's COVID. I don't know if it's just the internet is crazy, or political world is a complete dumpster fire. I don't know what it is, but a lot of people are in a rut. And I think there's a lot of noise too, and it's hard to get attention, like I mentioned, on social media. So I think that at this time, from what I'm seeing, new people coming in, they're easily overwhelmed and they're not consistent and they go away. And I think that we are suffering from COVID. That's a mass trauma that the whole world faced, but we haven't really acknowledged that, like how it's affected us. People aren't the same in 2002 and all the way to 2015, 2017. People were real go-getters. I saw people coming online doing new stuff and they would just do it. But now they second guess themselves. They overthink. Obviously, that's always existed, but I feel it's even more. And so, yeah, you have to get into the right mindset. And I think that, the diligence is super important. Like, you're working towards something. And to be perfectly honest, in 2025, it is way harder to start a business online business than when I started in 2002. In 2002, getting search engine traffic was easy. There wasn't all this noise. There wasn't competition from we're competing, even though the content on Netflix might not be the same as ours at all. We're still competing with them because people are distracted. They're distracted by everything, right? So when we're trying to build audiences, we're trying to get through that noise. And that takes, the mindset to keep going and to build the diligence and discipline to keep at it, even though it may take longer and it's hard. Yep. So just as you go too, right? Don't just keep going. Evaluate what you're doing and improve as you go too. I can hear. So the final thought is that, decide what you want to share and what you want to put out in the world, and build connections with people who want that same thing. You can find them out there, right? So don't try to conform to what you think people want or watching what other people want. Put yourself out there authentically, because you're going to find that people are going to connect with that, and they're going to connect with you better than if you are trying to come up with some persona or imitate somebody else that you see that you think is successful. And sometimes when we think people are successful, it depends what those metrics are. Someone with a large audience, maybe they have a large audience, but they are not turning their stuff into an income. And maybe income is important to you, that you want to support your family and stuff like that. So yeah, just get it out there, be disciplined. If they're interested in, we do for content creation, come on by ekithubuniversity.com. We have some free classes there. It's sort of on hiatus, but I'm playing with it a little bit. We do have a podcast at lifestyleselfmade.com. But there are lots of resources that we're building there, and I think that your audience might quite be interested in that. So come on by and check us out.
Awesome, Alice. So can you say your website one more time?
Yep. So for the content marketing side of things, if you're interested in that, it's ekithubuniversity.com. And for kind of more personal development, but related to, becoming an entrepreneur and stuff, it's lifestyleselfmade.com.
I got that. So that's going to be the end of the show, Alice. Thank you for coming. And thank you for sharing this
Thank you.
wonderful stuff with us. It means a whole lot. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Take care.